Holidays are coming. Should you be using influencers in your campaigns? Stick around, we're talking about it.
Hi, I'm Cait.
I'm Joel.
And hello from Detroit. We're talking about the holiday season and whether or not you should use influencers this season right now. Joel, just to get us started, what is the time frame for the holidays? What do marketers consider the holiday season and post-holiday season?
Sure. Obviously, Black Friday has earned its name, rightly so. This is when companies become profitable for the year. Many companies will see anywhere from 40 to even 50% of their revenue for the entire year come between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that is the holiday spend time. Obviously, it's bleeding more and more into Thanksgiving. But the other way to answer your question is what's the planning for the holiday spend? And that's really, I would say, starting in August or September.
Right.
Companies that are on it should be planning around then because this is a highly congested time, and even in the influencer space, which you're more likely to find various availability from creators because it's less seasonally dependent. Holiday money has found its way into the influencer space, and even now it is more difficult. That said, we still have plenty of creators who are putting out enough content that there is availability heading into the Christmas season, holiday season.
Great. So brands watching now, you're saying that before we explain how we do this, there is still time for them to work with an agency and use influencer for the holiday season.
Was on the phone with a brand this morning who wants to do something for Black Friday. There
Amazing.
is time. Not much, but there's time.
Okay, so it's not too late. So let's just dive into what are the do's and don'ts of holiday campaigns using influencer. Are there any big, absolutely do not do this, does this not work, what works?
Yeah, I would say you're dealing with a couple things that are typical but are amplified during the holiday season. Okay. One is attention span. You as a consumer are getting so inundated with message after message after message after message that anything that requires something from the viewer, the audience, the potential customer is out. Meaning, so I would say that vlogs or even blogs where you have to sit and be invested in the thing to get something from it. I would stay away from that. Of course, I think there are products that probably should stay on the sidelines because it's a product that requires a certain degree of education. I really need to understand it. It's a product that is much more practical in nature and doesn't lend itself to for quite a good gift. I would stay away from that kind of thing.
Okay.
Wait till the decks are clear. I've talked to several companies that we work with that are pretty savvy. They absolutely love the space between what's it called? February. It's Valentine's. Good grief. I'm a romantic at heart. A space between Valentine's and St. Patrick's Day because nothing is happening.
Nothing's happening.
And even St. Patrick's isn't a big gift giving time. So that late February into March is an unbelievable time for them to load up on spend because there's no other competing messages.
Right. So if we're talking about this major opportunity for idle eyeballs who are just sitting at home during the holiday season, they have an opportunity for that. Have we worked with any brands so far? Are there any campaigns, not naming names, that have done really well, and can you kind of explain those and go into detail, and ones that haven't?
Sure, yeah. So I would say brands that are, it's the best way to put it, brands that are selling an experience or selling a moment is probably the best way to think about it. Simply because we're Americans, we're materialistic, we have far more junk than we could possibly know what to do with, far more than we need. And I would say one of the biggest marketing shifts over the last 10 years is this move away from owning commoditized product and finding your social capital based on the things that you own, to the much more millennial outlook is your social capital is based on the things that you have done and you have experienced and the skills and quality that you have. So for instance, 20 years ago, I will spend my money to buy this certain kind of car. Now, I don't even want to own a car. I don't want to deal with it. That's a waste of my time. But I have taken this trip and I spent 3 months in Thailand. And that's both could be the same price. So it's To put it succinctly, it's experience over things.
Okay.
So I would say let's use that, and if you are selling an experience, if you're experienced, so food delivery kits, right? Sell it as an experience.
Exactly.
Genetic testing. This is an incredible connecting experience for your family to find out who you are, where you're from.
And that's just like such a unique gift. If someone opens a package and they can look into that and say, hey, I can, submit this, get all of this information back, that's something unique that no one else is going to give them, and that's something they're interested in.
Right.
So that's an experience.
You're creating an incredible experience.
Great.
Or, you just spent this time cooking as a family over Thanksgiving. That presumably was a pleasant experience. And so wouldn't it be great to have more time as a family cooking together? Well, meal delivery kits make that really, really easy. I would really emphasize sell the experience of your thing, or the experience that your product allows, over you need this.
Okay, and that sounds perfect for influencer marketing.
Which, again, that's the beauty of influencer, is you get to be almost voyeuristic in some ways on how a individual or a family gets to experience the product, and then you can translate that. So you can showcase less about the product and more about the experience your product creates. An influencer, that's very, very difficult to do through paid search. It's very difficult to do through display, etc.
Okay, so if people are looking at this and they're saying, okay, it's time for me to get into influencer for the holiday season, what's the planning process going to look like for them if they came to an agency like ours?
Well, they would have to be ready.
Right.
And that means they've got all their assets ready. They know what they want their folks to say about the product. They know what they've got their budget.
Okay.
They have a structure in place to give approvals for videos to go live, and this is super timely. So they've got to have their game in order, or they have to have someone in their organization that has the ability to make decisions and make decisions quickly without having to involve the redundancy committee. But no, I messed that up. It's anyways, whatever. Stupid joke. You need to be live and nimble and agile and ready to go.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first. If you are interested in doing influencer marketing for the holiday season coming up right now, come to us and we'll get you set up.
We will indeed. All right.
Thank you, Joel. Thanks, guys. Follow us on social media.
I was waiting for it.
Make sure you follow us on social media. It's a great way to stay connected to us. And goodbye from Detroit.